right, Reddy, as I always say, this is one of my favorite questions. Influencers come sometimes in a second moment. Sometimes they come a lifetime. Sometimes you don't even know they're happening, type of thing. And my first influencer was my grandfather from Kyiv. He and my grandmother, my mom, my aunt were all from Kyiv when they came early on in the 30s or something. And but he used to take me for walks in the park. And one day I just asked him, I said, Zeta, when I called him, how do you know all these people? And he said, well, I don't know. One day I smiled at somebody and then he smiled back at me. And then somebody else came over, saw us smiling, and they smiled at us. And we started talking. And I got all these new friends and things happened and whatnot. That was a short version of what he told me. But as a 5 or 6 year old, I thought, wow, I just have to smile to make things happen. That's pretty cool. And it showed me it doesn't take much to be an influencer. Can you share with us, I know there's probably a lot, but maybe 2 or 3 people that have been influential in your life?
Absolutely, Mark. I'd love to do that. I will share 3 influencers. One was my aunt. She had one of the toughest lives I have seen. However, she never once said anything bad about any other person. And she had, I was telling earlier, she had photographic memory, and she would tell stories from in the epics of Ramayana and Mahabharata, like you're seeing a movie. And she was always say only good things. And she believed better things would come, not be bothered by all the negative things around her. So she was heavily, she has influenced me. She passed away many years ago, but it's you I feel very blessed to be raised by her.
Yeah.
That's one from my personal life side.
Mhm.
From my career side, there are 2. One is Scott Heron. Currently, he's the Cisco's CFO. Again, in my career, I am naturally gravitated to people who are leaders, who are humble, and they bring a sense of humility, and they lift you up. Those are the types of leaders I gravitate towards. Scott is one of them. I reported to him at Autodesk. He provided me great opportunities, and I came as a VP of operations, and then I did digital transformation with a huge responsibility. We talked to him as a sounding board. I leveraged him and his wisdom. He's one. And the second one was when I was at Intel. Bill Su, he was the general manager of the desktop business in those days. It was $30 billion. And if you see him, you would think he's some school teacher. He's very simple, carrying a little bag on his back, but you would never know he was the general manager managing this $30 billion business for Intel and as a C-suite member. And I worked for him. I was on his team. And one of the things was he he was a device physicist. He came from more electrical engineering background because I had software background. We always discuss the things. He would ask me on the software side. I would ask him to learn on the electrical engineering side. But as a human being, he valued me and he nurtured and gave the opportunities for me to grow. So this is the humility, bringing the opportunity to you and recognize the potential you have. These 2 individuals, both Scott and Bill, those are they are heavy influencers when it comes to my career side. By the way, they are also very people oriented. This is where the belief in humanity, both are very approachable and they see you as a human being versus as a number, which is common in the business world.
So you might say they're leaders who care.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
You know, one thing it does show us also, and I appreciate you sharing that, is that we're also influencing people all the time, whether we know it or not. And it's our choice to be positive or to be negative. Your aunt was never negative, apparently.
Right.
And because we are impacting and influencing people, and it you know, it makes a difference. It makes a difference because they talk to other people and other people and other people. So thank you so much for sharing that. It's really important and really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for the opportunity, Mark. I enjoyed it.